9:36, overdraft fees. Many of us have been there, and they can add up fast. New data from NerdWallet shows they're still costing consumers more than they think.
Joining us now with ways to avoid the fees is Kate Ashford. She is lead writer at NerdWallet. Kate, good morning. Welcome.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday.
Okay.
Are we hearing you, Kate?
We can we hear her? Yes, we can hear her. We just can't.
Oh, okay. So, Kate, as we are kind of like thinking about financial spring cleaning, so to speak, we're kind of zeroing in on those nuisance fees, those miscellaneous fees, and these overdraft fees are a huge one. How much are consumers actually paying?
So NerdWallet has some new data. We looked at banks that charged fees and that didn't charge fees. And if you include all banks, even those that don't charge fees, overdraft fees are averaging about $17 a piece. If you're looking at banks that are charging fees, that goes up to $27 per overdraft fee. So it's not small change. It is a big hit every time you get hit by one of these charges.
What just happened? All right, so let's talk about this one. Why are some banks still charging high overdraft fees when many others have eliminated them? And just to be clear, I want to be transparent before we get to that question. The audience can hear you and we cannot. So we're doing this interview flying blind here. So overdraft fees when many others have eliminated them. Explain to people at home.
Absolutely. So this is still a revenue source for banks. This is bringing in money. Some banks are still using this to make their bottom line look better. And a lot of banks are still selling this as a service to consumers who are living kind of paycheck to paycheck, close to the line. They're selling this as, your payments won't get declined. You can still we'll charge you an overdraft fee. So it's looked at as a perk in some circles still.
And Kate, I know it's probably easier said than done. Just make sure you're aware of your balance before you go making purchases. But what are some real tangible ways, maybe some tips that people can just avoid these fees altogether?
Absolutely. You can opt out of overdraft fees. You do not have to be charged overdraft fees. You can tell your bank you do not want to opt in. That might mean that your card is declined if you're going over the balance, but that is probably better than getting hit by a charge. Also, you can set up low balance alerts so that you're aware when you're getting close to that line. And certainly you can sometimes link a checking or savings account so that the bank can pull from that account if you get a low on your primary checking account balance.
All right, let's talk about this one. Okay, NerdWallet talks a bit about overdraft protection. I've heard a lot about overdraft protection, but I don't really know what it means. So what does it mean, and what are consumers' options when it comes to it? Do they pay for it?
Overdraft protection, no, it's not a paid service. It is a service that banks are offering to consumers as kind of an overdraft fee workaround. That linking to another account, that is considered an overdraft protection. They allow you to link to a savings account or a second checking account so they can pull from there if you overdraft. Some banks will offer an overdraft line of credit that they will hit if you go over your balance. However, the interest rates on that tend to be kind of high. And some banks do offer a grace period, which can be nice, where if you go over your balance, you have until the end of the next business day to deposit funds to cover the negative balance there. So those are all protections that some banks are offering to consumers now.
Yeah, you mentioned some banks. So what should people be looking for when they're choosing a bank or potential overdraft protection option?
Look for something that works for you. I feel like people know themselves and their finances. If you know that you tend to work close to the line, look for a bank that's going to allow you to opt out of the overdraft fee or that doesn't charge overdraft fees. Not all banks are charging them now, so you can look around for that. Or look for a bank that offers the grace period or the ability to link another account. There are so many bank options for us now. It really is worth shopping around for the one that's going to work for the way that you spend.